I have not one, not two, but three Gia Just Said That today. One of them makes me very happy to report, the other two, not so much. But it will give you comfort, so let's get into it. Let's start off with the exciting one, shall we? The People's Cabinet. Have you heard about this? This is amazing. This one is actually not exactly a Gia Just Said That. This is a We Just Said That. The 4 a.m. Club, the Dreaming Women, we just said that. So the Democrats have launched the People's Cabinet. There have been some incredible videos about this. I've reposted them. Please make sure you're keeping up with all my reposts, all the great content that you guys are tagging me in and that I'm seeing. But this is the People's Cabinet designed to bring in a coalition of both experts and everyday people to come together, both as a means of fighting misinformation, as they've stated one of their purposes, as well as just creating a better way to govern of the people. This is absolutely fantastic in every way. But the reason this is a we just said that is because this concept of councils and of leading in groups and coalitions has been bubbling up through the 4 a.m. Club for months now. I know Ethical Psychic in particular has been talking about it for longer than I have. I think we've all been feeling this, both as something that this is part of Ascension, part of the rise of the divine feminine, of new ways of taking care of each other, of relating in communities, and certainly new ways of being in government. My particular version of this that I shared, my vision, it's in a pinned video. I'm wearing the leopard kimono, where I talked about creating groups that don't define us just because of geography. Right now, you vote on your zip code. You vote by the person in your area code, but that doesn't fully represent who and what we are. So my vision included bringing together groups that speak to our unique, diverse needs as people. And so seeing the Democrats make a move to create this as the first major governmental body that's attempting to do this is absolutely fantastic. It is mind-blowingly, incredibly fantastic. Not only that they are doing it, I mean, hello, yes, please, and thank you, but this is what we've been talking about. This is what we want to see more of, and now it is happening. And if you'll recall, I've been saying all along that we don't have to wait for the full collapse of things before the new starts happening. This one is absolutely a Gia Just Said That. We don't have the big switcheroony in government yet, but we are seeing the new already taking shape. So this gives so much hope, so much excitement, so much joy and potential and positivity for the future of government, that if this is already beginning to bubble up now, what is going to be possible in the years to come? This is fantastic. Okay, let's talk about the not so great Gia Just Said That. And it has to do, of course, with the financial situation. What's going on now in the wake of the tariff announcements, and in particular, what this has to do with the markets and investments, all that jazz. This is something that Spirit addressed in, I believe, both my March preview event and my April preview event in different ways a little bit. And this is why I say I don't love that this is now happening, but I do want to remind you of the insight that Spirit gave about the good that can come from this, okay? Because that's what we always want to focus on. How good could this get? What becomes possible now because this thing has happened? This is how we make real transformation and change. We're not trying to force the old systems to be better, because it's a little impossible at this point. We are going to accept when things crumble so that we can begin to create the new in this new space that we have created. So that's kind of the big thing here. As we are seeing the stock markets tumble, we are seeing investments tanking as a result of the tariffs and the announcements and all the bullshittery that is happening out there. What Spirit shared is that this is a necessary part of the crumbling, because our financial systems right now really only benefit the top percentage of people who are experts, people in the know, people who have been fortunate enough to accrue enough money to be able to then make their investments work for them. But even then, the average person is not benefiting from these systems the way governments are, the way billionaires are, the way business people are, the way people with really any sort of elitism, right? People with a distinct advantage, they already had that advantage. They use these markets, play these markets, and manipulate these markets to their advantage. This is a corrupt system. Ideally, oh, anyone can buy stocks, but it's really only benefiting those at the top. And so, as Spirit has said, like all the corrupt systems in this world, this one needs to come down. And this is coinciding with what we're seeing about Social Security benefits and how this is on the chopping block with Doge, and people are very concerned and what's going to happen with all this. Simultaneous to people are losing their retirement funds because of what's happening in the market. There is no coincidence that both of these things are happening simultaneously, because all of these things are built on the corrupt systems and on the volatile systems where there's really no security in that. We call it Social Security, but if Social Security is put in the market, the market's volatile, it's not secure. We don't feel secure. We don't have our future mapped out for us. This is not New Earth living. This is not a society that truly takes care of all of its citizens. This is going to change. And how it's going to change first is things are going to get very uncertain, very unsteady. But because of this, it's now drawing attention to the fact. No one can be sleeping right now on the fact that this is crumbling and this is getting very bad for many people. And so that brings it right to the forefront. Right to the forefront, and it's ripe for change. So this is going to be one of the things that is a top priority as we do shift out of government. As the orange turd is removed, he's going to be, remember, the whole fucking reason I do these Gia Just Said That is so you can see that what Spirit is showing me and what I have predicted is coming true. And that gives us hope for the overall picture, what we're all here for. Not even specifically a Madam President, but that he's gone and the new government that's stepping in that is female driven, female energy, emotional, empathetic, those new systems are coming. And we know they're coming because the old are collapsing now. That is what Spirit has said over and over and over. To get through the fearful collapse, we must understand they're only collapsing because the new is right around the corner. Now, I said there were two Gia Just Said That about the financials, and this one was very specific. Remember how, I think it was in the April one, I was ranting about the banks and the predatory practices and the bullshit. I was specifically ranting about overdraft fees. You are literally taking money from people who don't have any money, and there were some protections put in place. Guess what? This administration just rolled them back. What the fuck? So I hate that I called that, and it has happened. But again, however, everything they do shines a light on the corruption. And so these things now become front and center. The people are pissed. These become first on the agenda for change. So as we're looking out at all the uncertain, scary things that are happening right now, I want us to remember that the big picture is what we need to focus on to ride through these waves, to ride out this time. And if you're having a hard time of that, just think, I keep drawing us back to COVID. What happened during the shutdown? What happened during the pandemic? The most acute months and years of the pandemic. What did we do that helped us cope with that time? What did we do that made us devolve into chaos during that time? We need to relax. We need to let go. We need to trust that in the overall big picture, things will work out. That everything catastrophic that happens will cause us to rise up and create change, to create better ways of functioning, where all these cracks and these weaknesses and these exploitative moves are now being shown to us. That's where our focus goes, and that will usher in the most change. So hang in there, fam. Marathon, not a sprint, remember. But I have to believe that the reason I'm getting so many rapid fire Gia Just Said That in the past couple weeks is to help you guys know that what I am seeing, what all of you are receiving in your intuition, how many of you received insights about councils, what we are receiving is the truth, is what's happening. And although timelines are shifting in terms of how quickly are these things going to manifest, how are they actually going to come out, although that's a little uncertain, we are seeing evidence of what Spirit has shown us. So let that give you faith and comfort in the times to come. We will make it through this. And not only make it through this, we will come out of this reborn and rebuilt. So hang in there.